Hi, welcome to the Kitchensmith. You can tell that I am loving me some quinoa lately because we are doing one more quinoa recipe. This is actually a quinoa salad. We're doing quinoa tabbouleh. So it's a spin on a traditional tabbouleh, which is a Middle Eastern salad with the main ingredients of parsley. Now in regular tabbouleh, it's used with cracked bulgur wheat. So not very good for people who have gluten intolerances or grain intolerances, where quinoa is perfect for that. Now quinoa is also a perfect protein, so you could eat this salad as a main dish, or you could serve it as a side dish as an accompaniment to something else, maybe some grilled chicken or beef kebabs or something. So we're going to get started. I'm going to tell you everything that's in it. It's very easy and it'll be super quick to pull together. The base of this recipe is quinoa, obviously. Now this is quinoa that's already been cooked. It's 1 cup of quinoa that has been cooked in 2 cups of liquid. Now, if you're unfamiliar with cooking quinoa, please reference the Smith Basic video, Quinoa, and it'll teach you how to do that and make it perfect. What we're going to do is add in a bunch of fresh herbs. I have 1 bunch of fresh organic parsley here. Now I've cleaned it and I've chopped the stems off, and I'm still going to give it a little bit more work with the knife. In traditional tabbouleh, the herbs are cut really, really finely. Now it is wonderful that way, but because I like to eat this more as a salad, I'm not going to do it quite as fine. I'm just going to give it a rough chop all the way across this parsley. And I love parsley. Boy, this is a really good recipe to make in the summertime when you've got a garden. If you can put some parsley in your garden, it grows really easily, and then you can just go out and pick your own parsley. And if you're going to do that, I'm going to tell you that this is probably going to end up being about 1.5 cups of parsley. So if you don't have like a bunch from the grocery store and you're cutting your own, then about 1.5 cups of rough chopped parsley. Alright, so we're going to put in this rough chopped up parsley into our quinoa. Now this quinoa was cooked a little bit earlier this morning, so it is fairly cool right now. And you're going to want that because if the quinoa is too warm, it's going to wilt your herbs. And you want your herbs to be nice and fresh and crisp. That way the salad just tastes more fresh and beautiful. If your quinoa is too warm, it'll wilt them and basically cook the herbs, and you won't have that fresh crispness. So here's your quinoa with your rough chopped parsley. Now we're going to add some organic fresh mint that we're also going to roughly chop and add into this salad as well. Now mint can be very strong. I personally really like the way mint tastes. I think it's very fresh and very refreshing, so I plan on using the entire little box that I just showed you. Now you can use just a portion of that depending upon your preference for mint. One of the other herbs I really like to use is cilantro, although some people have a problem with cilantro and don't care for the way that it tastes. So this is kind of an herb salad that's up to your own individual taste preference. So for us, we're going to use today the mint and the parsley and no cilantro, and we are going to use most of this box. And then the next thing that we're going to add is some green onions. This is 1 bunch of green onions. Now on this salad you could add fresh onion if you'd like, fresh sweet onion or red onion, and just dice it really small. I prefer to use green onion because personally I think this salad tastes better after it's sat for a while, and sometimes the onion, if you use too much fresh onion, it can overpower the taste of the salad and then all you taste is onion. And I don't want that. I want to be able to taste the fresh herbs and the lemons and everything else that's going on in this salad. It's like a party in your mouth. It's so flavorful. Okay, so this recipe does call for a whole lemon. Now I like to put the zest in as well. I think that really gives it a bright, fresh flavor. If you've never zested before, you're going to want to use either a zester or use your grater with the very smallest rasping holes that you have on it. Now when you're zesting, you're only going to want to get the part of the lemon that's colored. So you can see that I'm just getting that little part. You don't want to get any of the white pithy part because that can make your salad bitter. All of the essential oils and the lemon flavor is in the colored part. So I'm just going to zest this lemon in here. Now before I zested it, I did wash this lemon really well so that I got all the wax and anything from the supermarket off. I do try to buy organic lemons if I'm going to be zesting them because I don't want to get all those chemicals in there. But if I can't, I will wash the lemon as best I can in a big sink full of cold water with a couple tablespoons of salt and a tablespoon of vinegar. And that kind of gets all the, it kind of eats away all the stuff that's on the outside of a non-organic lemon, lime, orange, grapefruit, whatever you're going to use for zesting. I let it soak for about 10 minutes in that sink, and then I rinse it off really good so that it's all super clean and you don't get any of that residual salty flavor in your zest. Alright, so there's all the zest. I did put all of that into the salad. And what we're going to do next is we're just going to juice it. And we're going to put the whole lemon in for juice. So I'm just going to stick it in my juicer. Alright, the last and final step is to add a little bit of olive oil. Now I'm using an organic extra virgin. Please use extra virgin whether or not it's organic. If you use a regular olive oil, it's going to give it too much flavor. The extra virgin is very light and clean tasting, which goes really well and complements the other salad portion. So I usually use between 3 and 4 tablespoons. I just kind of, I'm going to do, I believe 4 today just because I put in a lot of herbs and I want it to hold the salad together really well. So we'll do 4 tablespoons of olive oil. Then I have this sea salt, so we're going to do some salt. Now, since I'm grinding, I can't really give you a good estimation. I'm going to say probably about a half a teaspoon and a couple grinds of black pepper before we mix this all together. Alright, your salad is almost done. So basically we're just going to give it a good stir and get all of the lemon juice and zest and olive oil stirred up into it. It looks so pretty. It's so bright and vibrant. Now the fun part for this is most tabbouleh has some additional ingredients into it. You can add in some cucumbers, which I would finely dice. Now if you use regular cucumbers, I would seed them. So cut them in half lengthwise, take a spoon and run it down the middle and get all the seeds out. Peel it so you don't have that bitter peel, and then chop the cucumber into really tiny little pieces. If you use an English cucumber, you don't have to worry about seeding it. Those are the ones that come wrapped in plastic at the supermarket, so those ones don't have seeds. But again, I would still peel it. If you choose to add tomatoes to it, I would use the Roma ones that are the little ovular ones. And what I would do is cut them in half and gently squeeze out most of the seeds before putting it in as well. The seeds will give it too much juice and make your salad a little bit too watery. So then as well, chop up your tomatoes into really small dice. You could also add some Kalamata olives to it, or some plain black olives chopped into a small dice. You could also add some feta cheese. Really the sky's the limit on this one. I do try to keep the ingredients a little bit more on the Mediterranean side, but this salad is absolutely wonderful. It keeps great in the refrigerator, and actually I think it tastes better after it's sat in the refrigerator for a little bit. It is also a wonderful thing to take with you to work for lunch after you've made it the night before, because quinoa is a perfect protein. So if you want to have this for lunch, it does make a wonderful lunch. So thanks so much for watching this quinoa segment. If you have questions about quinoa, like how to cook it, please watch the Smith Basic video on quinoa. Or if you have any questions about quinoa itself, there is a Smith Tips video as well addressing quinoa and why you might want to include it in your diet. Thanks so much for watching and have a great week.